This morning, our Dr. Jagdish forwarded to me the Charaka Shapath, that is like the Hippocratic oath that is taken by the medical practitioners. So, the rest of the Shapath is okay. Charaka, Charaka Samhita, the great medicine practitioner of the ancient Indian times. And one sloka at the end of the Charaka Shapath caught my attention. And that's one of my very dear shlokas from Mahabharata of Aranti Deva was a king who was tested by the gods for his willingness to sacrifice anything and everything for the sake of his people. So these gods tested him and found him, including the last morsel of food when he himself was hungry, he gave away to one of the gods who came as a beggar. Even the last, a sip of water, also he gave away to somebody who came at the end, asking for that also. To that extent, he sacrificed everything for the sake of his people, and finally, gods were happy. And Lord Vishnu asked him, "What is that you want? I'm so pleased with your sense of sacrifice for your people." And he says, "Natvaham kamaye rajyam, na swargam na punarbhavam, kamaye dukkhataptanam praninam artinashanam." And that's a part of the Sharak Shapath. And that made me very happy, because if our doctors can repeat this to themselves every day, it's a very simple shloka, which simply says, Natvaham kamaye rajyam. He's a king, but he says, I do not desire of a kingdom like the one that he was ruling, or even more prosperous one. Na swargam. Because all the kings, everybody in the old times used to do everything to go to one Swargaloka. You know about that, we read in Kathopanishad. They all wanted to go to a Swargaloka and enjoy there, because there is no hunger, there is no old age there is no pain, no disease, no death, no decay. So everybody wanted to enjoy. So he says, I do not want that heaven also, na swargam, na punarabhavam. I do not want to be born again here as a king or as whatever, a mighty emperor. Because Manusha Janma is very durlabham. That's what we know about durlabham trayame vaitat. Manushatvam, mumukshatvam, mahapurusha samshraya. So human birth, if I can come back, I do not want a human birth also. What do I want? He says, Kamaye dukkhataptanam praninam artinashanam. I only desire for one thing, that those who are suffering with sorrow, let me wipe away their tears, let me destroy their sorrows. That's all I desire for. Please bless me with that boon if you must give me one. And that is the idea of the truly spiritual people. Truly spiritual people do not take the negative approach to spirituality. Oh, all this is Maya. I only teach you that too. Maya mayamidam akhilam hitva brahma padam tvam pravisha viditva. All this is illusion. This is Maya only. It's a swapnam. And therefore do not pay too much of attention. Do not get over involved with the world. At the same time, I tell you, no, show compassion, show kindness, be nice to each other, and desire that if you must desire for something, you must help people and serve them selflessly. That's all you should desire for. So apparently these look like paradoxical. They look like two opposites. On one side, it's all, dream, and why should I even bother about who is mother, who is father, who is everything here? It's just a dream. Swapnam, that's what Shankaracharya says. Kastvam koyam kutamayataha kame janani kome tataha. Who are you? Who am I? Where have we come from? Who is our father? Who is our mother? In every birth, we keep changing things. Iti paribhavaya sarvam asaram. So considering this as the approach, take everything as meaningless. Vishwam tyaktva swapna vicharam. And give up this idea of the world like you give up a dream. In dream, you may become a king and very rich. But you know, in your heart of hearts, you have not become any rich. When you wake up, you are the same student in the same class preparing for the next board exams. But that is how it is. Shankaracharya says one side this way. But on the other side, our Mahabharata Aranti Deva says, no, I don't desire any moksha, I don't want swarga, I don't even want a rajya. Just give me ability to wipe away the tears of those who are sorrowful. What a wonderful idea. So are they same or are they opposite to each other is an approach that Narasimhamurti is telling. People run away to Himalayas, thinking everything is just an illusion. I don't want wife, mother, husband, brother, sister. I don't want any of these worldly issues. Let me go and meditate in the Himalayan caves. That's one approach to spirituality. The other approach is what we do. No, there's no need to go to any Himalayas, no need to wear any ochre robes, no need to grow your jata, no need to apply bhasma. Just go to the hospital, go to the schools and teach there or serve there, or do whatever you can. That's good enough for spirituality, is what we tell. So are they right or are they wrong? Both are right in a way, but you must see it from the point of the context, the situations that we live in, the societies that we live in today. In Krita Yuga, long time ago, tapas was the approach to spirituality. You can go to Himalayas or you can go to any jungle, and most of the people were engaged in tapas. Even Prahalada stories and all we have heard, right? Very tapas oriented spirituality that was. Give up everything and withdraw and go to a forest and then keep on doing tapas for births after births till you attain that wisdom, that self-realization. That was the approach then. Then came Treta Yuga. Yajna became the next level of spirituality. Going to forests and doing tapas was not the most important way, but yajnas. Yajna means everything that you do as an offering. And most of the rishis were busy with their yajnas and things like that. You know about Ramayana, how Sri Rama goes and protects Vishwamitra's yajna by killing Tataki. So yajnas were the most important thing. And next yuga, Dwapara Yuga came. Then the greatest ideal that time was dana. You have to give charity. Because people were getting selfish. Expecting them to go to forest was not possible. Yajnas also, they were very conservative. Dharmaraja was performing a yajna after all the victory. Ashwamedha yajna he was doing, Rajasuya yajna. And he wanted finances for that. He didn't have finances. He simply announced that I am going to perform this huge Rajasuya yajna. And that time and after announcing the project, he was wondering where the funds are going to come from. At that time he went to Krishna and told, you only have to save us. I'll make you the chairman of this yajna. Now you bother about how do you get the finances. Krishna said, don't worry, go this way. And you keep digging on the side of the road, and on the wayside, and you will find some gold. So he went with his soldiers, he dug on the wayside, and he found a lot of gold buried several feet under the earth. And he came back and he asked Sri Krishna, who threw gold on the roadside? Now, which madman would do that? Threw bars and bricks of gold on the roadside. He said, you think you are a great king, you are doing great dhanam in this Rajasuya Yajna. Before you, there were greater kings. And when they were performing the dana, they gave so much gold to the poor people that these poor people could not carry it back home, so they just threw it on the wayside, some of the gold. That is the kind of dana people have done. You are nobody. That was the lesson in charity. So what is the Kali Yuga thing? Some people say Namasmarana. Kalau nastyeva gati aranyatha, Bhagavatam says. There is no other way other than chanting the name of the divine. Harir Nama Kevalam. But by chanting the name, is it sufficient? That is the next question. For Kali Yuga, Shastras say chant the name. Because we are so lazy, we can't do tapas. I know 20 minutes of meditation seems like ages. 20 minutes of watching TV, 2 minutes it looks like. Put them to sit down and meditate, that's the longest 20 minutes of your life. Tapas and all not possible. Next, yajna. We do some yajna over here. Once in a month we do all yajnas. But imagine if you were to do all kinds of yajnas as per the Agnihotras, to do almost whole day they will be spending doing yajnas. With every Sandhya they have to do one yajna. So is that possible in today's times? No, we are all busy people in our offices. We have 100 things to do. So that is also not possible. On top of that, I see how they have cut corners on yajnas also. They use cheap material, cheap things to offer to God. Anyway, it's going to the fire. Yes. Even in dana, you see how we do dana. Go to the temple. And once you reach the temple, you search the dirtiest and the most torn note in your purse and wallet to donate into the temple undi. Why? Because you think that is going to the temple, they'll manage somehow. Or give old clothes or useless things to people. You want to clear your cupboard, clean your house, or whatever is not required, you want to give it to the poor people in the name of dana. Such dana also is of no use. So Kali Yuga, they said people will become so selfish and so irreligious that better give them simplest thing that they can do. At least through that they can redeem. So Namasmarana came. But Namasmarana also people don't do properly. That also is difficult. And also we heard about the story of Hanuman who goes to Vibhishana, who was chanting Sri Rama, Sri Rama, Sri Rama. And when Hanuman goes there, Vishnu says, "Oh, I'm so blessed, you're always with Rama. I've been chanting Rama's name, but I never had his darshan." Then Hanuman says, "You have only chanted Rama's name. Have you done any Rama's work? Mother Sita is captive here. Have you ever gone there and inquired about her welfare? Have you made any efforts to return Mother Sita to Sri Rama? You have done nothing. You're sitting and chanting Rama's name. How is Rama going to be pleased with you? How is he going to bless you with the darshan? Do Rama's work." So Namasmarana should be combined with Seva. Because in Kali Yuga, the easiest way to redeem ourselves is Namasmarana. But Namasmarana without Seva is like one side of the coin without the other. It's a counterfeit coin. It won't work. So that is why I tell Seva. Do Seva in these organizations. That is the easiest path in Kali Yuga to redeem yourself from your own ignorance. We are prisoners of our own devices. Nobody has bound us. We have bound ourselves by thinking we are just the body or we are just the mind. But we are beyond that is very difficult to appreciate because nobody around us thinks that way. Except this ashram is different. We almost think we are not the body except breakfast, lunch and dinner time. That is the only time we think we are the body. But otherwise we are quite above beyond all this. However, for most of the people it is not true. Somebody is hungry. Can you tell him you are not the body? Don't feel the hunger within you. Not possible. Somebody who is sick, can you tell you are not the body? Don't even associate with the disease and sickness. Not possible. Somebody who is shivering in cold without clothes or shelter, can you tell him, don't worry, you are not the body, you are the Atman. Atman has no cold, whatever. Can we tell that? It's not possible. That's why when people ask me, what is spirituality, what is God, I tell them very clearly, all goodness is God. And selfless service, selfless love is spirituality to us. Anybody who does good is God himself. And Mahatma Gandhi said, there are so many hungry people in the world that God must appear to them as bread. If God appears to them in any other form, they won't believe. For hungry, bread is God. For sick, healthcare is God. For an uneducated person, education is God. For homeless, a roof above the head is God. For the naked, clothes are God. Whatever is the need of the society, or need of that person who is suffering, fulfilling that need is a godly act. Anything else, you talk to him about mantras and Vedas and Shastras and other ways of redeeming oneself, it's not going to work. That's why Vivekananda would say, you can't preach to an empty stomach. So our spirituality is about filling the stomach first. And in filling that stomach, most of the spirituality has been taught. The person who has received that help has looked at you as a very form of God who has come to serve this need. And you see that as Daridra Narayana. In that person also you see there is a God whom I am serving in return. So what are our temples? These hospitals and schools are our temples. What is our altar? These operation theaters, these classrooms are our altars. Who are our gods? These kids whom we teach, these patients whom we serve, they are our very gods. What is our worship? Very act of serving them is our worship, teaching them or looking after their health care. There is a worship. What is spirituality? This spontaneous expression of love and service is spirituality. This is the essence of our religion. There is nothing beyond this. In every religious institution, if you start following this simple principle and reinvent religion to make it relevant to the modern times, to the modern societies, only then religion and faith and spirituality and God will survive. Otherwise, as people ask me, there are so many species getting extinguished, you know that. They are the endangered species. But truth is that God is the endangered species in today's society. More and more people are losing faith in the existence of God. I was in Hong Kong and I asked somebody, there are nice, he took us to a good old Buddhist monastery. I said, very nice, in the middle of this Hong Kong city, all skyscrapers, there is a Buddhist monastery. And then after some time we saw there was a nunnery or something like that where Christian nuns were being trained. So I saw, this is very nice, this is also available here. So I asked him, in Hong Kong, which religion or which God do the people generally follow? Then the host said, these are all centuries old monuments, they are only museums today, nobody lives here. Generally in Hong Kong, they don't follow any God and religion. That is, the larger number of people are atheists. They don't believe in God at all. That is the religion. So God is the endangered species, must be protected, otherwise God will become extinct. But what kind of God will survive the test of times? What kind of God will continue to exist even in these changing circumstances. Only God, which is good. Goodness as God alone will thrive in the present societies. So tell them whatever Upanishads and Vedas and Bhagavad Gita, all that is fine. But it will make no sense to a hungry person, to an uneducated, illiterate fellow, to a sick and a dying patient. It won't make any sense. To them, God must appear as their very fulfillment of their need. So these are the places where God should be found. And our way to find that God within and without is by serving the need of those who are in need of our help. And then when you have God, do you negotiate with the God? I will, temples have a huge menu card. Go to any temple. Kunkumarchana, Munnur Rupai. You want more than that. A full Sahasra Deeparchana, 1000 rupees. In that ghee Deeparchana means if you put ghee in the Deepam, that's it, the cost goes to 10,000 rupees. We have menu card for worshipping God in various places. Many people ask me, why don't you have menu card in your hospitals and schools and colleges? I said, I am not those temples where for every worship there is a charge. No, we cannot worship God like this by giving him a card that, which of the worship we should do, how much should we spend. That's not the way. Our God is our patient. Whatever the patients need, we must help that patient. And that brings transformation in people. So it's not just service, it is transformation in people, transformation in the society. They develop a sense of gratitude, and that debt of gratitude that they carry in their hearts, that they will spread it to others. When they think they have received more than that they deserved, more than they expected, they carry gratitude in their hearts. One example I'll give you. One of our doctors, Dr. Pillai, who comes from Singapore to do orthopedic surgeries. He brings his own transplant, knee replacement and all that. It's a very expensive ones. And so he did for somebody in our hospital. That person was from outskirts of Bengaluru. But in Bangalore, its cost is quite high. It can be up to 3 lakh to 5 lakh rupees. The very transplant, that piece itself costs a lot. But all this is free. So when this person underwent treatment, he was very touched. He said, all this is being given free. You will not charge me any rupee. And plus, you came from Singapore to perform this for me. This is truly unbelievable and amazing. How does it happen? He said, this is how we are. This is our culture. We think everybody is ours. And we have to look after them as in the best possible way. And then he said, see, I don't think I could have paid for this kind of surgery in Bangalore, but I have a medical insurance, and that allows me up to 1 lakh rupees of reimbursements. So please allow me to offer that to Swamiji so that this can be used for some other patient's need. So he can't pay 5 lakh rupees, but he did pay what he could. That has a debt of gratitude. We did not ask him. But this came spontaneously from the heart. So also so many patients who are farmers over here, they bring vegetables and things like that, I'm told. Because that's all they know, what to grow and how to offer. So this is how it should be. We cannot negotiate prices with God. So those Shastras which might have been relevant in those times when they were written, have to be re-looked at from the present context, from the present point of view. And today's Shastras should recommend doing selfless service to those in need as the best way to attain divinity. That is the best and the fastest way to attain divinity. And selfless service you can do anywhere. A charitable word to somebody in distress is a selfless service. It doesn't cost you anything. Maybe a minute of your time to lend your ears and listen to somebody's misery or agony. You may not be able to do anything, but by listening, you have already unburdened that person of a lot of suffering. But the idea is of this. Anything is charity. Done selflessly, anything is charity. With selfishness, that becomes a transaction. Even with God, when you become selfish, you do this for me, I will do this for you. That is selfishness. But still, sometimes God blesses, saying, at least this fellow has taken the first step. At least, if not a jignasu or jnani, at least artharthi has come to my doorstep. Some progress from not coming, he is coming. That is some progress. So God blesses them also. But the true spirituality is absolute selfless love and service. And we must not have a menu card of services because we cannot negotiate and transact with God. Our patients are our God, our students are our God, our people, whoever we serve, the children whom we serve breakfast, the cheap people whom we look after in the ashram or anywhere, they are our gods. They are moving, talking, walking. breathing gods. Let us serve them. When we serve them, we will realize that divinity within and without. It's a sure short method. If you are not realizing despite serving in these institutions, it only means you are not serving properly. What is proper service? Absolute selflessness, unconditional love. That is service. Even we don't turn around and look at whether the person is going to acknowledge this service and say thank you to us. Doesn't matter. We have done our part and that's our fulfillment. We don't expect anything in return. If somebody returns something as a matter of gratitude, that goes to the institution at large. Nothing for me or you. So that is how we must lead these institutions. We must work in these institutions. And this is what impresses these people who come from abroad, who come from various other organizations, because they see this is an absolute, pristine, pure, honest service. There's nothing that is expected out of anybody here. All are welcome. The idea of the world has become so selfish today. They always think from their point of view. While taking, they have no problem. While giving, they think 10 times. Why should we give? How much should I give? No, give as per the need. Shraddhaya deyam, ashraddhaya adeyam, shriya deyam, riya deyam, biya deyam, samvida deyam, says our Taittiriya Upanishad. Give. How? With shraddha, with sincere feelings. If you don't have sincerity, rather not give. Don't give those counterfeit coins and torn notes. That's no service. Don't give those useless clothes which you cannot wear, nobody can wear. Don't give such kind of thing. See, the idea of our spirituality is very different. And I keep raising the bar. Every time I keep raising the bar. Initially, I was allowing everybody and anybody with the issues, problems as to solve that. They used to become happy. But now, not anymore. Arti Artati times are over. Arti Artati times are over. This is Jignasu Jnani times. So our people have to raise and become Jignasu and Jnanis. I was told when I changed over to NIOS from the Karnataka board and CBSE, a lot of parents were unhappy, saying, why are you doing this? You'll ruin the institution, culture, this and that. But we stuck to our guns and we said, no, we are not going to change. This is the idea. Children should get more time to do what they love to do and not just be buried in their books and keep preparing for exams after exams. They're ruining their childhood. We will not allow that. But some parents did not agree. They wanted to withdraw. I said, let them go. Today, Jayaram was telling, so many applications. Again, this year's applications, we had to shut down some of our online application portals because they were already oversubscribed. For 20 seats, 30 seats, 120, 150 applications, we closed those websites there. Why? So I know if you do good, there are people who are there to stand with you. We are giving everything free. That's why we are not unique. Free was the way of our country from the time immemorial. We never charged for all these things. It's very cheap to even think that we have to charge all this and sell all this. But even when we are giving free, our uniqueness is we are giving in the right way. Shraddhaya deyam. Ashraddhaya adeyam. Don't give if you don't have sincere feeling. Hriya deyam. Give it humility that you have got an opportunity to give. Bhiya deyam. Give it the fear that you are not giving enough. It may not be sufficient for the person in need. Samvida deyam. Give with the knowledge of whom you are giving so that it is not misused or misutilized. This is the way our scriptures have taught us how to do. And we as an institution must keep up these great ideals from our scriptures, which are relevant in all times, at all times. Today, tomorrow, every day. So therefore, as Narasimhamurthy was telling, the only way we can achieve God in these times, the present times, is this. Therefore, I suggested to somebody, see, there are only two ways you can find God. Develop this wisdom that nobody is yours, everything is dream maya, or everybody is ours. Choose between the two. The first one sounds very negative to me. Nobody is ours and everybody is selfish, everybody is like this and the world is a maya, you don't bother. Very negative approach towards life and divinity. Take the positive approach, all are ours. Everything is divinity. Everything is God. Prano hiyesha sarva vibhuter vibhati. Everything is orchestrated. Everything is mechanized. Everything is powered by the same consciousness which divinity is. And derive joy in that thought. Suddenly all these maya becomes so beautiful. You are aware it is maya, you won't get entangled, yet you will enjoy the show like you watch a movie. You enjoy the movie knowing very well that this hero is not going to die and this heroine is not going to be suffering, everything will be okay at the end. You just go through the suspense of things. And you enjoy the drama, enjoy the movie. So then this maya itself becomes a way to see God. And I always see, every day I come for a walk. Fortunately, I am able to come down and walk around and I watch birds, I watch tree, I watch sunrise, sunsets. And I see, all this is divinity. That bird flapping its wing is divinity. That bird cooing in that perfect note is divinity. That flower blossoming today, which was yesterday only a bud, is divinity. And that change of sun and moon in the sky is divinity. What is not divinity? And really experience this sloka from Mundakopanishad. Bhavate vijanan bhavate nate vade. You're stupefied, you're silenced by this wonderment that divinity is. And suddenly in the pain also you see divine, in the joy also you see divine, in the suffering you see divinity, in the relief you see divinity. In the poverty you see divinity, in prosperity you see divinity, and you see everything is orchestrated divinely. Suddenly your perspective changes, you become spiritual. You enjoy every bit of it. So our spirituality is that, see everything is divine. Everything is divine. All are ours. Everything is divine, all are ours. With this attitude, if you serve, heart will get purified. In the pure heart, God will manifest. The divine feelings will manifest on their own. Like a bud need not be pushed to open. When the sun rises and the bee hovers around, the bud opens slowly. It's a gradual, natural process. Likewise, we must prepare ourselves to realize divinity. Realization will happen when the time is right. You can only prepare yourselves. And this preparation is doing selfless love and service. And tell me, where on earth can you find a better organization to do this, which means what it says, which completely, thoroughly, to the T follows these very dictums of our scriptures, of spirituality being manifested as love and service. So when people come, even this Prime Minister, the Deputy Prime Minister who had come and others, when they tell, I am only keen to listen to only one thing. I don't want to listen to, oh, how big your infrastructure is, how many buildings you have. I want to always wait for that feedback. When they say, I never seen so much of love and so much of kindness, so much of warmth in any place. That makes me happy. Then I say, oh, our culture is still right. Because buildings are building, anybody can build, whoever has money. But can anybody build culture? Not possible. Culture is to be inculcated through practice at all levels. So when people give me a feedback that this is such a warm place, people are so loving, they're so kind and nice, that makes me feel very reassured that, okay, we are doing the right things. And that feedback is what I look forward to whenever there is a guest who visits us. Not the other feedback, how posh things are, how good things are, how big this infrastructure is. That's all secondary. They're external things. So our culture is of selfless love and service. As long as we maintain that, we will prosper. Nobody can stop our work. So that you should keep in mind and try to ask yourself every day, have I been more selfless than yesterday? Have I been more loving than yesterday? Have I been kinder than what I was yesterday? Have I been more charitable in my thoughts, words and actions than what I was yesterday? This is our measure of our progress. Keep asking yourself every day, measure yourself against your own ways. And how do you know where you are progressing? There will be more peace, there will be more equanimity, there will be more joy. As the doctor who was walking telling her, my heart fills with joy. I'm sure her heart fills with joy even during meditation. So also it fills with joy when she treats the patients. Because it's the same joy, same joy. And that quality of joy is the proof that you are progressing spiritually. So ask yourself, confirm with yourselves, validate it every day whether I am experiencing that joy. If I am not, then something I'm not doing right over here. Maybe somewhere I'm a little selfish. Maybe somewhere I have some expectations and conditions. Maybe somewhere I am not right in what I am doing. So find that where you are wrong and set it right, and then you should explain the joy again. So this is our spirituality in a nutshell. May you continue this tradition of our culture, which is to give love, serve well, serve selflessly, and in that selfless love and service, find divinity within and without. I don't see there is any other way of changing the society. I don't see any other way of transforming the world other than this path that we have taken. If enough of us keep walking for enough time on this path, I'm sure the world will sit up and take note of it and get inspired and follow in our path. And that is the way to transform the world. That is the way to bring golden age. With these words of blessings, I conclude.